One of our early guests who went into security management said that the best thing you can do to move up in the industry is to automate yourself out of your own job. If you can get the sort of boring things that you are spending your whole time on, then you can move it up from there. And certainly, all of us have our long-term goals that we're always like, well, I'd love to, but I'm still working on this thing that occupies every week of my year or whatever. So I can see the applications very clearly with regards to that. But, we also hear people in the comments saying that it's harder than ever to find entry-level jobs in various sort of feeder cybersecurity roles due to the newly culled entry-level work that a novice cybersecurity or compliance person or even an intern would be able to do to get their foot in the door. So, I understand that eliminating these processes makes the operation more efficient and ultimately more safe. Heather, how do we as an industry address these types of concerns that our industry is becoming increasingly difficult to enter at the ground floor if you don't already have experience doing these kinds of grunt tasks, like whether it's sifting log files or running standard SOC operations that can be handled by AI now?
That's a really good question. I think if I were, sitting in that seat and thinking about, well, what do I do, and how do I get in the door? I think it's really important to focus on what you can do, not what you can't. So, for example, what I mean by that is if you know that there are some of these rudimentary tasks that are being automated or otherwise streamlined with technology and kind of taken away from the entry level, the analyst, the intern style roles, then where's the new gap, right? There's still a new gap somewhere where they need human intervention. They need the ability to have nuanced critical thinking skills. And I think it's more of a focus on what you can offer and don't focus on what you can't anymore. And with entry-level roles, I think you just have to find the right organization. I know it's getting harder and harder for, younger people just out of college or maybe a little bit less experience than some of the more senior folks to find jobs, but they're still out there. And I think that it's more important to focus on how you can insert yourself and building up your skill sets. Otherwise, the technology can't offer. Technology can't have soft skills to explain itself to business stakeholders. Humans can, right? So develop your soft skills, start understanding how to translate the problems technology is solving to the people who care that those problems are being solved, right? Because that's still not, technology is not going to replace that. So focus more on being that bridge between the technology and people than focusing on what technology is doing that now we're not relying on humans anymore for.
Yeah. I guess if you're going to enter the newspaper industry, you don't get to complain that you don't get to do paste up or movable type anymore. Right. Right. The ship has sailed. So, Keatron, have you heard those types of those issues from our learners as well, or is that just some of the people in our comment section?
Yeah, I've definitely heard some ramblings of it too. But one of the things that I always push back with is start thinking of ways and innovating how to use these tools to help bridge that gap, right? Because, as some of the courses I released using ChatGPT to train a SOC analyst, for example, yep. Right? Like there's definitely going to be an explosion in the application of using these technologies to help fill those gaps more so than replacing those gaps, right? And to Heather's point, there's a human side of this that we don't have a technological way to replace right now, right? So, and I think that gap's going to continue to get bigger. So there's still going to be a lot of opportunity. It's just that where that opportunity is may shift a little bit because of these technologies.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I just like to hear it. Have you seen Work Bites, the new security awareness training series from Infosec? Our team produced this series with 3 E's in mind, making security awareness training entertaining, engaging, and educational. Just go to infosecinstitute.com/free to learn more about this hilarious office comedy. And hey, let us know what you think about it.